Reproductive isolation refers to the biological mechanisms that prevent different species from interbreeding. These barriers are fundamental to maintaining the distinctness of species and play a crucial role in the process of evolution. Throughout this lesson, we'll explore how these mechanisms work and why they're essential for biodiversity. Reproductive isolation encompasses various mechanisms that prevent members of different species from producing offspring together. If by chance offspring are produced, these mechanisms ensure that the hybrid offspring are sterile and cannot reproduce themselves. This is nature's way of maintaining species boundaries and preventing the mixing of genetic material between distinct species. Reproductive isolation barriers fall into two main categories. Prezygotic barriers operate before fertilization occurs, preventing the formation of a zygote altogether. Postzygotic barriers, on the other hand, come into play after fertilization has occurred, affecting the viability or fertility of any hybrid offspring that may form. Both types work together to maintain species integrity. Let's examine three key prezygotic barriers. Habitat isolation occurs when species occupy different habitats or geographical areas, so they simply never encounter each other for mating. Temporal isolation happens when species breed at different times, whether different seasons, months, or even times of day. Behavioral isolation involves differences in courtship rituals, mating calls, or other behaviors that prevent species from recognizing each other as potential mates. Two additional prezygotic barriers are equally important. Mechanical isolation refers to physical incompatibility between reproductive structures, making mating physically impossible even if species attempt to breed. Gametic isolation occurs at the cellular level, where sperm from one species cannot fertilize the egg of another species due to biochemical incompatibilities, even if mating is attempted. A classic example of temporal isolation is seen in eastern and western spotted skunks. Although these two species are closely related and occupy overlapping territories, they breed at completely different times of the year. Eastern spotted skunks mate in late winter, while western spotted skunks breed in the fall. This difference in breeding seasons effectively prevents any interbreeding between the two species. Now let's explore postzygotic barriers that operate after fertilization. Reduced hybrid viability means that hybrid embryos fail to develop properly or die before reaching reproductive maturity. Reduced hybrid fertility occurs when hybrids survive to adulthood but are sterile or have significantly reduced fertility. Hybrid breakdown happens when first-generation hybrids are viable and fertile, but their offspring in subsequent generations are weak, sterile, or have reduced fitness. The mule provides a perfect example of reduced hybrid fertility. Mules are produced when a male donkey mates with a female horse. These hybrids are vigorous, strong animals that live long, healthy lives. However, mules are almost always sterile and cannot produce offspring of their own. This sterility results from a chromosome mismatch, as horses have 64 chromosomes while donkeys have 62, giving mules 63 unpaired chromosomes that cannot properly separate during meiosis. Understanding reproductive isolation is crucial for several reasons. These mechanisms maintain species boundaries and genetic distinctness, preventing the loss of unique adaptations that each species has evolved. Reproductive isolation is the driving force behind speciation, the process by which new species arise and evolutionary divergence occurs. Finally, comprehending these barriers is critical for understanding patterns of biodiversity and how Earth's incredible variety of life forms came to exist and continue to evolve. To summarize, reproductive isolation mechanisms work either before or after fertilization to prevent gene flow between different species. Prezygotic barriers stop fertilization from occurring in the first place, while postzygotic barriers affect the viability or fertility of any hybrid offspring. Together, these mechanisms preserve the genetic integrity of species and drive the ongoing process of evolution and diversification of life on Earth.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.